Hey everyone. This time we're going to be talking about a game that kind of means it means quite a bit to me. I liked it a lot back when I first played it. Now that I've had a chance to play it again, it's not that great, or at least it's not as great as what I remember. It's still one of those games that means a lot to me. It's just kind of something special. It kind of reminds me of a time that, we're probably never going to get back, but it just reminds me of kind of like some happier moments and whatnot. So the game we're going to be talking about is Kartia. This is a game that has a really cool concept. It's got a lot going for it, but unfortunately they just didn't capitalize on a lot of the things that were really going on in this game. So this is a tactical RPG. Think something like Final Fantasy Tactics or Tactics Ogre. It's not really like Fire Emblem, it's not like Shining Force. Those have a different combat style than this. So definitely closer to Final Fantasy Tactics and Tactics Ogre. I'll get into some of this stuff later once we get into the combat and into the story, but this one is pretty different. I kind of talk about it like a tactical RPG with the training wheels on. You can just keep summoning more and more monsters to fight your battle for you. You don't really need to worry too much about the humans in your party getting killed. You can kind of hide behind all the little monsters that you create. It's got a cool concept. It's got a lot of great ideas to it. It's got this weird thing where there are two quests, and you sort of have to play through both of them if you want to get the full story, which is really more annoying than anything else. But it just has, like I said, it has a lot going for it, and it just never seemed to really kind of bring everything together and make it work. Kartia was one of the games that I never heard too much about. I never heard anybody talking about it, and honestly, it was a genre that a lot of my friends didn't play. I was kind of the only one who really cared much about tactical RPGs. So, usually when we would rent videos, and really rent video games as well, we didn't always go to Blockbuster Video. That was kind of me going there by myself once I got into, later on into high school. And it was kind of one of those things that was a crapshoot. Like, when we went there, we didn't usually know a whole lot about the video games that we saw, so you just had to kind of guess. And Kartia was one of those guesses for me. I remember seeing it at a Blockbuster Video, and like a lot of games you rented, didn't have the manual, didn't have anything else going for it. I just had to take a chance, and this was one of those games that I remember getting and just being like, this is awesome. I don't know why I thought it was awesome, because it's in all honesty, it's kind of an average game, but when I was playing it, I was like, this is the greatest thing ever, just because it was like finding a treasure that you just didn't know existed. So let's talk a little bit about kind of the world of Kartia and the battle system that you go into. If you've ever played a tactical role-playing game, this is pretty much what you're going to get. You move your characters around on tiles, you kind of line them up, and take swings at your enemies. You can use magic, where this gives you a lot of different magic spells that you can use, and it also has you summon these things called phantoms. You can kind of see them there. They're the weird, sort of like an orangish color creatures that are kind of hanging around me. I guess kind of yellowish orange, but whatever. Those are the phantoms that you summon. And you can just keep summoning those things. They're on like a very basic like triangle combat system. You have three different shadows, you have three different phantoms, Doll, Shadow, and Common. The common is weak against the shadow, strong against Doll. Doll is strong against shadow, weak against common. You kind of get the idea. And those phantoms are really like your workhorse. You get a lot of different variations throughout the game, just like the magic. That's really the thing that makes this stand out, is how much the game gives you to kind of work with. You can do a lot with your magic and with your phantoms. Another thing that's kind of cool is you make your own equipment in the game. So you can create the two different types of equipment. You can make stuff for your human characters, and you can make equipment for your phantoms as well. It's kind of weird that you do that, but it works pretty well in the context of the game. Now in the world of Kartia, you use what's basically called Kartia, or these different cards that you have. And that's what you use to create your phantoms, and also the equipment for your phantoms, and also for yourself as well. You actually find out that this world uses Kartia for literally everything. You can make food with it, you can make pretty much whatever you want as long as you have the right Kartia. And that ties more into the plot of the game, which I'll get into once we get to the story. It's just really kind of a crazy world that they've created here. I really like it. It's bizarre. The combat's pretty simple. Sometimes when you get into like the more complex fights, it does kind of feel a little bit unfair, but usually that just requires you to save and then, set up a different group of phantoms to go after them. It's pretty cool, and I like it, even if it is kind of simple. So I just want to say that the story for Kartia is really stupid, the way they get you from point A to point B. I'll get into some of the weirder things in it in just a little bit, but I just wanted to take a step back really quick and just say, I like it, despite all of its faults. I like the game. Even if its story is just, oh my god, it just feels so dumb. Like, all of the characters in it just feel incredibly stupid. So while playing through this, I only did the Toxa storyline. I didn't go into the other one. Mostly because I just didn't really feel like going into the other one, and I believe this disc, I've just been having issues with it. But just want to let you guys know, there are two sides to this story. You do kind of need to play through both of them to get the full thing, even though it's going to give you the same ending, but you get sort of the perspective from the other group, like the other party in the game. If you just play through Toxa like I do, you don't get everything that you could get, so you kind of miss some of the stuff in this. A lot of the story is played out through sort of in-game cutscenes, and also kind of like these, not really comic book scenes like you would see in Phantasy Star 4, but ones where it's pretty typical for these types of RPGs for you to just see like the character's face and get the text of what they're saying. In between episodes, they also show kind of those cutaways where it's just one player or one character talking. Then you'll get like maybe 10-15 seconds of an FMV, and it introduces a new chapter, and then you move on. So the basic story of Kartia, like I said, the end goal is kind of cool. So you have these things called Kartia, and then you have like the original Kartia. So there's like an original Death Kartia, there's a original Earth Kartia, and there's like a original Heaven Kartia. Or like an original Sky Kartia. I can't exactly remember which one is which. But those are kind of like the ones that all of the smaller Kartia that you use throughout the game kind of spawn from. And there's kind of a cult in the game. Because why not? Of course there's going to be a cult in a game. That just would be weird if there wasn't one. So this kind of cult type thing, they are trying to summon Eden, or bring about Eden, which is this place where elves are apparently from. By the way, there are elves in the game, which don't really need to be there. I don't know why they decided that, but it plays into the mythology of the game for some weirdness. Anyway, they need to summon Eden because they hate humanity and they want to wipe everything out. For reasons, I don't know why. I guess world domination wasn't good enough for them, so they figured, hey, we'll do this as well. Like I said, it's kind of dumb. You end up thwarting them at the end. Everything works out. And yeah. There's some other weirdness that go into it too. Apparently elves are immortal. Okay. They just find weird things to keep you playing, it seems like. That was one of the things, like, playing it back now, I was kind of like, really? This is what we're doing? But yeah, it's strange. I like the game despite all of its faults and its weird ending. I don't know. It's playing it now, it just kind of feels like, wow, this story's really stupid. I still love the game. I love the artwork. I love the music. I love everything about it. But yeah, the ending and the story is really dumb. And all of the characters in this are really stupid. Anyway, guys, that's going to wrap it up. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and have a great day, everybody.